End the show right now.
You're gonna zipline directly into the harpoon?
What do you know about planes?
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore.
Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio. We're saving the underground music scene. I'm radio's Rebel DJ Style. On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
You're not Shaney.
I'm not. I could be.
Well, I mean,
I'm Eric.
you're a little taller.
I am taller, and I have hair.
That is true.
So that's one
That's
thing.
like a key factor.
That is a big difference.
No, if you've listened to Off Air before, Eric's been on a couple episodes of Off Air.
That's right.
If you haven't listened to Off Air before, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You got to tune in at 3 p.m. on WSRR Radio throughout the week. You get the Off Air recast or listen as they drop bi-monthly. Twice a month? Bi-monthly?
I think it could mean either way.
Could it?
And I hate it.
Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly could mean
Twice.
2 times a month, or it could mean every other month.
Comes out the first and last Tuesday of each month. Off Air on all major streaming platforms and WSRRadio.com. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am really glad to be here. Long-time listener, first-time co-host, I suppose.
Yeah.
Longtime friend of both co-hosts as well.
Yeah.
So glad to be here. This is
Yeah.
great.
It was heavily requested from Shane that you fill in today as well.
Oh, good. Well, I had to haul ass to get here, so I'm glad he really vouched for me.
Yeah. And one more time, I want to put it out there. The best way to get to know Eric's history with WSRR is just listen to Two Soups.
2 soups.
He was there for Two Soups. What the hell are we talking about today, Jules?
Oh, OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Well, not specifically OnlyFans, but some of them chicks on there.
Well, yeah, that's usually who's on there.
Yeah. Well, there's a new trend going on between them that they like to just leave their underwear that they're wearing in public places.
Oh, wait. Okay, they take it off.
Yes.
They take off their own underwear
In the moment.
in the moment. Oh.
So this lady's in the grocery store,
Yes.
like in the produce section. Produce?
Oh.
I guess it's like baked goods. Either way, I don't want to eat your crotch food.
Well, some people might.
I
assume
think that's
the
more of like
draw.
a voluntary. Okay, but that's the question: is who benefits from this?
It's been said that so the synopsis of it is they go to these stores, whether it be Home Depot, IKEA, or in this case the grocery store, and they will take off their underwear and leave it in the merchandise. This lady left it within the food. The one lady had left her underwear in a Home Depot ladder. Another one had left her underwear in a IKEA bed display. The main purpose of this is to post it to their social media, and then their followers will go out and find this underwear.
Oh, it's a
They're
scavenger
supposed to
hunt.
find it.
You know, it's like geocaching.
No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna do that. That's the who's gonna go out and do that?
You know that you are wrong. And
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna do that.
you know I'm gonna be there. No. You know
I've
there's-
literally got a collection in my trunk right now. Hit 3 Walmarts this morning.
That's why I was almost late.
Yeah.
I was at the grocery store.
Sometimes when they
searching.
put them like in the fish section, you can't go by smell, so it's harder to.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, and it looks like at least she was near like the freezer section, so it'll stay good for a while.
Imagine. So my thought process with this. Here's my biggest takeaway. You go to the grocery store, and I don't know, you want some crab rangoons, right? So you get some
My
frozen crab
favorite choice.
rangoons from Walmart. So you go over to the rangoon section of Walmart, which everyone does, and there's one package left because some lady has left her nasty underwear on them, and everyone's like, well, I'm just going to take the other packages. Now you're left with the dilemma of, do you take the underwear rangoons?
I think it's like a 2-for-1. I'm
You're
kind
getting
of,
free product.
I'm not necessarily against this, I gotta say. Well,
I'm kind of against this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of unless you have like active like scavenger hunt in your OnlyFans description of like this is what this account's for. Only follow if you're local.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
This is supporting local.
It is supporting local. Like I said, I think some people would really want that crab rangoon box. I mean, like they would pay a lot more. I bet you the grocery store could make a buck if they did it more often.
Open up the grocery store for lawsuits considering like food and
Sanitation.
safety type deal?
I think they're in every right to kick them out of the store.
I think they're making the workers' jobs just a lot harder.
Well, that's true. It always goes back to that. Like, do you really want to be the Kroger employee that has to?
I'm letting you know right now, I'm not going to be the Kroger employee if I walk into the donut section and there's just panties scattered, I'm like, I don't get paid enough to fucking discard this. Someone's either going to buy it or someone higher up's going to take care of it.
On the same level, but not the same topic, there's been a segue. There's been a challenge recently online where like teenagers are going to Target or Walmart and just knocking everything off the shelves. Target actually implemented a new rule that you have to be with somebody of 18 or older if you are younger than 18. Like 17, you need to have an 18-year-old.
To go to Target?
Yeah. You need to be
Yeah,
watched, babysat.
I mean, on the one hand, that sucks for all those 16 and 17-year-olds who have nothing to do after school and just want to go to Target and wander around. Feel for them. But also, like, knocking things down for no reason is the shittiest thing you could do as any consumer at a grocery store.
Yeah.
There's no purpose to that. You're not getting anything from it. You're not even getting a chuckle.
Is that the shittiest thing you
might
could
be.
do?
You
Or
might be
leaving
getting
your
a
underwear in the produce?
Listen,
the shittiest
I
thing you could do?
am more for leaving some panties on merchandise than for just knocking shit down so that the employees have to pick it up. I would rather.
I'm more for the panties. Specifically,
I need that on a t-shirt.
specifically because of the variety of locations. Because I would think it's funny walking through Home Depot and I don't think they're going to these lengths, but I'd like them to. OnlyFans models, if you're listening, I would like you to go to the lengths of hanging the panties on an 8-foot ladder that's already put away. I want to be walking and be like, how did that get there? I want to know about the journey.
Yeah. Make it like planking.
Yeah.
Whoa, how did that guy plank on the top of...
Better yet, just bring back planking.
Well, that's true. And then stream it for your OnlyFans or something.
Yeah.
You can make a buck after that.
Could you?
Well, that's the biggest part. If you're on OnlyFans, you're trying to make money.
Right.
How are you making money from this?
That's what I'm saying.
Just sell it.
Yeah, more people sell their underwear. Why are they giving it away for free?
Right.
True.
It's a weird ploy. Because, again, other than the dude who's going to drive to Kroger to find the panties, what gain is there? What do you get out of that transaction?
Maybe there's a little note on it, and when you find it, it's it got the QR code.
You get a discount?
Oh, maybe.
You get a QR discount?
They're flyers almost.
See, that would make more sense if
panties.
You find my underwear in the store, you get $5 off my OnlyFans.
I would be marketing a line of panties with QR codes on them that are discounts to your OnlyFans.
You could do that for the Rebel Radio show.
We might start doing that
Panties
this
with
episode.
That's horrible.
All right, new merch.
WSRradio.com/merch for the QR code panties. Oh, dude, there's nothing sexier than
Oh, yeah.
than scanning the crotch to listen to the Rebel Radio show.
That's how I do it.
There are multiple avenues to get here today.
I just don't understand how somebody can feel comfortable taking off their underwear and doing this in a public setting. There has to be more people around seeing this happen.
Is this a crime?
I think so. Public indecency.
I think it could be. Yeah. I mean, I'm no cop or lawyer.
Could it be tampering, with product?
Oh, that too.
Because that's what I'm thinking.
You buy it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I walk up to a bakery and stick my hand in the cake, I'm gonna be in trouble.
And you're gonna be one hungry little guy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be covered in cake. I'm gonna have to lick off my fingers. and that's going to be my excuse in court too. But no, they're going to make me buy the cake because no one else is going to want to buy it, right?
Yeah,
So like, if I walk up to the bakery and throw my panties on the cake like I'm known to do, they're going to make me buy the cake.
That's a good strategy for like Black Friday when like everybody's running to get the product.
Yeah,
You're just,
leave your
Yeah.
panties.
just chuck your panties on there.
Yeah.
Then that has to be yours.
You grew up with siblings.
Uh-huh.
Was the lick thing real?
The lick thing.
So
Oh,
like
yeah,
in movies
sure.
where like a sibling
licked
would be
it, it's
like,
mine?
"Yeah, I want
Oh, yeah.
that last roll. I'm going to lick that."
Oh, definitely.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
Really?
100%.
Of course.
There's also been times where the lick didn't matter.
Exactly.
So
I would think the lick would never matter.
Like those Pillsbury rolls.
Yeah.
I would actually lick them because I would only eat them. I didn't like my mom's cooking at the time. So I would just eat the rolls. I do love my mom's cooking now. I'm very grateful. But yeah, those I would just lick them.
Well, it's like the same applies, is what I'm saying for Black Friday with the panties,
my
right?
panties are on them. they're mine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
Nobody
people?
else is going to touch that.
You could just lick them.
Yeah, I was gonna say licking, depending on the product. Like if it's a copy of Halo 3, I don't really give a shit if you licked it. I'm gonna lick it too. It's getting licked at the end of the day.
Master
That's
Chief.
what it's for. The
Oh.
chief is on it. He's bricked up on the cover. Don't tell me
Oh.
he's not.
Boy.
I can
You
see
wouldn't be able to
that.
tell. You know, you could see it through the
Oh,
visor.
I can tell. I can always
Mm.
tell when the chief's bricked up. But have you been Black Friday shopping?
No.
I feel like it wouldn't matter if you threw panties on a lot of
You
things.
think so?
That's true. The frenzy.
Yeah.
I bet you panties do get thrown on things on Black Friday, and you just don't even know what to do because it's all in the ruckus of it all.
Someone had to have tried that strategy of like spitting on something, maybe.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then again, like people are fighting over TVs. It's not like broccoli.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
You know what? Does Black Friday should apply to groceries, or is it just like entertainment?
Probably just like gifts and
I'm gonna say no because if you're like that down bad, just like go to a food bank.
I'm just saying. I think it'd be fucking hilarious to show up at Black Friday midnight. You're just like, oh, I'll get some broccoli, some eggs.
frantically
Yeah.
tossing
Yeah.
vegetables.
No. You're just casually in the produce section because no
Right.
one else is there.
Well, yeah, maybe it's like 50% off everything. Everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
that's what I'm saying. That's the strategy, and have a bag of panties with you just in case.
Just in case.
But that's the thing. They see you take them off, they'll know. If you want more than one thing, you got to go get them
You
and put them
need
back
more.
on.
Well, maybe she does the bra next.
Oh,
You know.
that's a good move.
Yeah.
Is it just panties they're leaving?
Yeah, so far I've just seen panties.
I'm surprised it's not objects.
Object.
I guess that would be more expensive. Yeah,
Oh.
sex toys.
Right.
That's
Would be
kinda what I
super
would-
Expensive.
Oh yeah.
Well, because like butt plugs turn up everywhere.
Used condom, aisle 5.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how you do it. That's
Slap
how you
a
Black
used-
Friday shop.
Yeah, slap a used condom on a television.
You don't even have to use it. No one wants to touch anything that a condom is on.
No.
Like literally, just carry on condoms and open one up and be like, "That's my TV now." I think that
Slap it
applies for
around.
anything.
It's true.
You don't want anyone breaking into your car. Leave the windows down. Condom on the window. Condom on the steering wheel.
Condom wrapped
Just
around
everywhere.
The
Yeah,
handle.
yeah.
It's your burglary protection.
I think it'd work pretty well.
Oh, it's protection.
Hey,
Ah.
double meaning.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I guess if you're wearing gloves, it wouldn't matter. But
Who's wearing gloves at the grocery
Gloves.
store?
to burgle a car, you might be.
Yeah.
People wear gloves in like Goodwills because you don't know
Well,
what you're
That-
touching.
yeah.
You know?
I feel like every time I go to a Goodwill, I feel like I should be wearing gloves
Yeah.
and a condom
Well, now I'm gonna be wearing gloves everywhere.
and bringing condoms
and condoms.
and panties.
I'll make sure to have my panties.
Where's the next spot you're gonna leave your panties?
Ooh.
Gas station pump.
I don't know why my first thought was Pizza Hut.
Oh,
Fair.
Not a
Yeah,
great
no,
choice.
that's a great choice.
yeah, you
actually,
can't out Pizza the Hut.
You can't.
you think some people do like the rat thing in restaurants, like a roach or hair in their food? Pizza shows up to your door. You open the pizza box. It's just a fucking thong on the pepperoni pizza. It's like, I'm not paying for this.
Hell no.
216-859-8699. Let me know where you leave your panties.
Your dad didn't leave for cigarettes. He's out in the car, listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
I can't hear anything. Oh no, this is bad.
I hear you just fine.
I'm sure everyone else can. Now I can hear
Oh,
myself.
I wish I couldn't.
Yeah, most people say that too. At least I'm not living in a clay house or a 3D printed house, I guess. This is some
Ooh.
Three Little Pigs shit right here. That's all I'm saying. I forgot I have to move the control today because Shane doesn't have the laptop. So, yeah, people are living in 3D printed houses, which I guess isn't the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
I mean, everything's 3D printed now.
Right. I know someone. I probably shouldn't
Oh,
say
you
this.
do?
Yeah. One guy.
Oh,
He's kind of a douchebag, and I hate him, but I know him.
glad to be here.
Anyway, guys, Eric's here today. No, people are living in 3D printed houses, and I know a guy who has like a nice, two people actually that have nice like industrial 3D printers.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to give away any names, but one of them is definitely printing illegal things for firearms with them. So houses is no long shot for me, but
No.
this company in Austin, Texas, I believe, is 3D printing an entire development, a neighborhood of 100 houses that are all 3D printed. And they're using one large industrial printer that prints the entire frame. Like, it's not assembled, it's just, it prints the frame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my thought process with this, rationally thinking,
Mm-hmm.
they're 1,500 to 2,100 square feet.
That's like not bad.
No, they're not huge, but they're a good sized house.
Yeah.
And my thought process is, okay, well, it's 3D printed. It's probably like a money saver or something like that. You know, maybe this is the
Right.
way of the future, cheaper houses.
Right.
No, these start at $400,000.
What's the durability of this? Like, because what I'm envisioning is a 3D printer that's just shitting out like concrete.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's concrete, it's not really going anywhere. I mean, if it's like, I don't know how they would do it.
It's
but
not saying it's concrete is the issue.
Yeah.
I want to know the materials and how long this will last.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen things 3D printed in one material.
Also, is
Wow.
the foundation also 3D printed, or do they go in and lay the foundation and then place the printer?
These are all really good questions.
Eric, what are the answers?
I have all the answers. No, I would say based on that picture, you know, I went to engineering school.
You are
and
the
I
expert.
do know that the triangle is
The strongest shape.
I'm seeing lots of triangles there. That might be a good thing. In my expert opinion.
In my expert opinion, there's a lot of triangles.
Lots of
so
triangles around
what
here.
could go wrong?
But it's just
Let me
the
hang on. Let me
frame,
counteract that point. We had to
Yeah.
make suspension bridges once in high school for
Yeah.
wood shop. Mine was entirely triangles.
Yeah,
Wood
great.
did not support shit.
Oh, well,
So
you didn't
there
go to
are also
engineering school,
bad
did you?
triangles. No, and when I was 13, no, I did not.
You could have benefited
I should have.
from a 4-year
I
degree
wouldn't be here doing this.
at
you
the
know,
age of 13.
I'd be making actual money.
So they just print the frame, right? It's not like anything else that the house includes. There's still people involved.
So the only thing that this article says, which is from govtech.com,
Too bad it's not govtech.gov.
Oh, untrusted source.
are you really GovTech then? Was tech.com taken?
Comtech.gov was
There you
taken.
go. Yeah. It just says they 3D print the frame, but it also says, so they have a construction team that like exclusively works with these 3D printers. Like the 3D printing company and this one construction team have been working on this entire project. It's 100 houses. They have 98 finished right now. They're expecting to have the other 2 finished in coming months. But it's one company 3D printing, one construction team, and the construction team goes in and does all the drywall, the door frames, everything like that. So the only thing I think that they're printing is the actual frame itself. So I'd
Right.
assume there's still a foundation.
Yeah, I mean, you need all like regular house stuff.
Now-
This is just in lieu of
Wood.
getting a wood.
Yeah.
It's wood, and a bunch of people to construct that
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah, I guess
And
you're saving
you
on
could,
labor.
You could turn this on and just let
Leave.
it run,
Yeah.
But what happens if there's like a buildup of material and it goes like?
Inclement weather.
Well, I assume somebody's watching it,
No, they just overnight flip it on, come back in the
I
morning.
mean, that's
there's
what a lot of
house.
people do with their 3D printers.
That's fair.
You know?
And then they realize 8 hours in that something
Yeah.
fucked up, and they're way past that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I do know a little bit about these, though. They're not the first people to do this. However, there is another company that does like the whole house, like the walls, the
Really?
bathroom, like everything is just this concrete putty nonsense. And the thing I've heard about it is that, think about it, you're just enclosed in a jail cell, essentially.
Yeah.
Unless you're like forcibly making the windows and all that,
Right.
the
'Cause
heat
that's-
balance gets all screwy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my big concern is in the case where they're printing everything, right?
Mhm.
You have to, in the design, which I'm sure someone with a lot more intelligence than I is making these designs, these blueprints and vectors. But in the design, you have to leave room for electrical, plumbing, gas,
Yeah.
sewage, and then you have to get with the city because each individual house is going to have different lines and different ways to run the line in.
Right.
So, like, one
Right.
minor step, like you said, it's not like, oh, I can cut this piece of drywall or take out this board.
Mhm.
It's, I have to knock out this, like, weird putty concrete frame
Yeah.
and hope it doesn't deteriorate the rest of my house because of it.
You can't hang anything up. There's no studs. There's no.
Yeah, it's true. I guess you could
You would have
Hulk
to
smash it.
Yeah, that's probably the right answer,
That's the only
honestly.
way, I think.
crossbow, just like,
oh, yeah.
hopefully it sticks, I would think in either case, you'd have to do like you do for a block basement and then like liquid nail 2x4s vertically
Yeah.
and then put drywall on top of this.
Oh, yeah, right.
So you're still
I
using
don't
building
really see
material.
yeah, especially, let's get back to the $400,000.
So part of that comes to this, I believe. So each of these houses comes with smart tech, comes with
Oh.
a Ring doorbell security system, and solar panels.
All 3D printed.
Not all 3D printed.
Whoa.
Ring's just 3D printing the doorbell on your house now.
Well, hey, technology these days, you never know. But that is not worth it. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, it's not.
The solar panels, yeah, sure, they're worth something, but it takes a while to make your money back on those. And unless it's Texas, I'm pretty sure there's lots of land in
It
Texas.
does snow in Texas.
Occasionally,
It does
yeah.
snow in Texas.
I don't know. Would you really want like a cookie cutter house though, like that? Oh, there's cookie cutter houses
Let
everywhere.
me tell you a
I
little
guess.
place about Parma, Ohio.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't see the appeal. I really don't. You're paying more money for realistically a smaller house in that price range.
Right.
And it's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because, if it's relying on solar panels, which that's all it says in this, in
Yeah.
terms of power.
Oh, yeah. Also, one more thing. I do know that they do this kind of thing in like rural India to try to combat like homelessness over there.
Oh, really?
So I know, yeah, and they use like just regular materials, like it's almost like a mud-based kind of
Okay,
cement.
yeah.
And like, yeah, it can definitely be done cheaper.
Yeah.
It is, in many parts of the world they do this same exact concept cheaper.
Well, that's where I don't get the trade-off, because everything
Yeah.
other than the solar panels and smart tech seems like this would be a cost-saving
Right.
manner, and it's not.
Apparently.
Maybe for the companies, because they don't have
Yeah.
to hire as many contractors.
But think about this. When you invite people over to your house, you have that talking point like, hey, you're in a 3D printed home. And then you're cool because that's the only thing you have that makes you cool, I
It's
guess.
your whole personality at that point.
It would have to be.
You ever been to someone's house that they just had it built,
Oh, yeah.
recently? The same conversation.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I'm infinitely more impressed by that, because when you build a house, you sit there and go, well, I want this and
Want
this and
this,
this,
right.
and I want to change how that looks. Don't
Yeah.
seem like you have that option here.
I
No.
don't know if I could do, if they aren't covering the walls, I don't know if I could do that texture, that line by line.
That's true.
bump.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going in and putting up drywall on here. I don't
I've
see how they
seen-
would just live.
I've seen
I don't
some
see how these people live.
that are literally just like that texture throughout, no matter what.
how have we not gotten past that at this point?
The texture?
3D printing's been around long enough. We can use other materials now, right?
Oh, right.
I should be able to like ground up hot dog and put it in there or something.
Oh.
Something different.
You could used panties.
Use panties.
Mm.
Recycle your panties into the 3D printer, and then you could live in the
Exactly.
house of crotch. That's all
House of
that
crotch.
matters.
When I think of this, I think it looks like toothpaste. Like,
Yeah.
there's toothpaste in it. Why don't we use toothpaste?
Here's a little fun fact. These mic flags are all 3D printed.
Oh.
I just thought about that.
And they were not worth $400,000.
No, in fact, I'm pretty sure I got them free.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you know a guy.
I did know a guy. Yeah. I did.
3D printers, just regular ones, are like still really expensive, right?
Yeah, and like the material is all infinitely expensive.
I've seen people recycle water bottles and make it into that material.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
It's a whole thing. Although, man, there's even more extra steps with that. And you got to
'cause
use
you
the
have to,
right
like,
kind.
You have to slice it so thin and then like melt it down, make it that.
Mhm. There's a machine called an extruder. And you have to extrude the plastic to make it into the string. And then, or that, the.
Or, and now I'm not getting paid for this, but I should be. You go to 3D Print Customs on Etsy because they hooked us up last Christmas or the Christmas before, and they do some excellent work 3D printing. So 3D Print
Absolutely.
Customs.
Yeah, you could
With
always
a
just
Z.
go online.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's the thing is like you could pay $400, $500, $600 for a 3D printer, and then the same amount in materials for one color.
Yeah.
And then you could spend 4 hours printing something, and then 4 hours sanding it, and an hour painting it, and then have the product, or go on Etsy and spend
Yeah.
$26 on the thing you want.
For me, it's became like you have to know somebody who has a pickup truck, so that when you're moving, you can borrow their truck.
Yeah.
Or like I need to know somebody who has a 3D printer, so that
So they can build you a house.
exactly.
Buddy, the market is shit right now. Here's my plan.
If you start it now, it might be done by 2035.
Just screw by screw, we'll make them.
One
Could you
by
3D
one.
print a drywall screw?
Probably.
Sure.
How long would that take?
Like a minute? No, not that long. I mean,
I
not
mean,
that
they're
quick. It would-
small, so based on the size of the thing, you would.
Certainly not an hour, right?
It depends, because if you want it to be like a good screw,
I
then you
do.
need the
I want it to be the
detail.
best screw.
The best screw.
And you would have to print it
Yeah.
with the flat side of the screw down and print it upwards.
Yeah, you could do it like that.
I'm just saying.
I
I'm,
think-
I'm trying to
yeah.
find a reason to have a 3D printer, and if I can avoid going to Home Depot to buy a box of screws because I can print one, 216-859-8699. Let me know if you want to 3D print some screws.
to the Rebel Radio Show.
For the third week in a row, I've been just chugging ayahuasca. It's a crutch.
Would you do an ayahuasca
No.
tour thing?
No.
So immediately ready to turn that heel. Just so immediately, not even a thought.
He's
Grace's
watched
head.
so many
It
videos.
was so instantly no. Obviously not, dipshit. Why would I ever consider? What makes you think I would ever consider that? The fact that I say constantly that I'm presently doing ayahuasca? Maybe. I don't know.
During the break, I really just wanted a big, refreshing swig of water. And I would have had that. But we're not sponsored by any kind of Stanley Cup or anything like that. However, we are sponsored by Clearview Windows, Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, and, of course, GenericClothes.com. I've got my generic clothes on right now. What does it say on this?
Famous musician.
Wow.
So you can get your generic clothes at GenericClothes.com. Tell those big brand corporate cunts to suck it.
Yeah.
And get a shirt that says shirt or floral shirt or political statement or sports team.
Ooh.
Anything you can imagine, pretty much anything you can imagine is on this
Rock.
site.
There's one that's
I'm pretty sure there is.
yeah. There's one that says ketamine.
There is one that says
Oh.
ketamine.
I like that.
Any statement you want to make, you can make it with GenericClothes.com.
Okay.
And any music you want to make, you can send it over to Synergy Music Studio in Chicago, even if you're not in Chicago. And they'll get it ready for any album, EP, or radio play. Anything they send over goes right into the system. They're the only producers that I never have to do any kind of tweaks or mix downs or anything like that to get it radio ready. Everything from Synergy goes right into WSRR radio.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. So Synergy Music Group out of Chicago, GenericClothes.com, and Clearview Windows out of Northern Ohio. Thank you for sponsoring WSRR Radio, and we're definitely not sponsored by Disney. They
But-
would never sponsor us. No, I don't want to be. I have nope, sorry, not getting in on that one.
No.
You're also not allowed to die in Disney, and that has been re-upped recently. You guys know more about this than I do.
Yeah, so that's interesting that you mentioned not dying in Disney.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because somebody almost technically did.
They were killed by Disney.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So,
We're going to get a cease and desist, and I can't wait.
oh,
Go on the wall.
we're not on a Disney platform, no?
Nothing we stream on is owned by Disney, right?
I don't
You have to
think
check
so.
nowadays.
You do. They own pretty much everything.
YouTube's owned by Google.
Yes.
Apple's owned by Apple.
Yeah, yep, good call on that one.
21st Century Fox, Disney.
We're not
Really?
on 21st Century
Yeah.
Fox. Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that
why
crazy?
Deadpool. That's why Deadpool exists.
I've noticed
right.
there's a lot of R-rated and bad stuff on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For the adults.
they've recently become a lot more lenient with that too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Spotify, Pandora, Google, TuneIn, iHeart, Amazon. I don't think any of those are owned by Disney.
iHeart has Disney.
I was gonna say
Oh.
iHeart might pretty soon be.
Yeah,
but,
I can see that happening.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not owned by Disney. If we are, I don't really give a shit.
Doesn't Disney have a radio?
It's called yeah.
Wait. Yeah, I used to listen to it as a kid.
Yeah. It's
It
bringing
was
back-
radio. It was Radio Disney.
Radio
is what it's
Disney.
called.
Oh,
yeah.
that's it.
There we go.
But it was Disney 365 or something like that on
Yeah.
Radio Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the jingle that was
416 or something like that.
365.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
Now we're getting the cease and desist.
Yeah.
Oops. Too accurate.
What's going on in Disney?
Well, if you have ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, there's lots of amazing restaurants and attractions to go to. And imagine you took your lovely wife and family to one of these amazing parks. And imagine your wife, if you have a wife, is maybe she has some allergies. I have some allergies. I
I've
can't
got
eat certain nuts.
allergies.
I think lots of people have allergies. And Disney's always on top of their consumer experience. I mean, they are one of the best in the world in making sure that you, the consumer, are having a good time
They even
on their premises.
put in a lot of their advertising that they go around your
Oh yeah,
allergies.
they will accommodate
Yeah.
you.
That's what I was trying to say.
And
But what happens when they don't?
Yeah, well,
You die.
even if they said they did,
Yeah.
are they liable in case something happens?
So to my knowledge, there's a lawsuit going on right now This man, like you said, and his wife and kids, I believe, were all at Disney World? Or
The one in
Land?
Florida, I think.
They were at
So
Disney.
Disneyland, right?
Sure. They were at Disney.
I don't
And
I've never been to either.
They ate at one of the restaurants. She had a severe nut allergy. She made it clear
It
when they
was-
ordered food.
Nut and dairy.
And dairy.
Yeah, they were
Ooh.
both
Oh.
found in her system after the autopsy.
Interesting.
Autopsy.
Well, she had a nut and dairy allergy, and she made it known. She ordered on the menu, and there was a whole section in this article where they talked about the restaurant having that, like you were saying,
Right.
very upfront about, hey, we're allergy friendly. You know, let us
Mhm.
know anything like that. Ordered their food, ate, left. Later that night, she got like extremely ill while shopping in Disney. To the point where she used her EpiPen in the shop and then was rushed to the hospital where she was presumed dead because she had eaten nuts and dairy that were in her food that she ordered. The fun part is Disney says they're not liable. And the reason they say they're not liable, to my knowledge, is because the family had a Disney Plus subscription.
The husband, technically.
No. The wife.
Ooh.
No.
I just read this article.
Really?
The wife had the Disney Plus subscription. And in a Disney Plus subscription, even the free trial, when you sign up in their terms and conditions, it says any dispute other than minor claims is solved by arbitration, not in a court of law, which now is the big premise of this case. Is the family, the estate of this woman, is suing Disney for wrongful death. Do you know
Well,
the amount?
Personally, if my wife had died at a Disney park because they told her that there were no nuts and dairy in her food
Right,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
died after eating it, I would definitely sue them.
Yeah. I want to sue Disney every day of my life, and this is more enough
Oh,
reason.
yeah. I would sue them for a lot of money.
The worst part is, like, from what the story says, she was very upfront about her allergies when they sat
Right.
down at this restaurant. She was like, this is what I cannot have under any circumstances. They told her, you're good. There's nothing in your food. And then she started feeling sick. And after the autopsy, they found, like, a abundant amount of nuts and dairy in her system.
So let me clarify. The reason I specified, even when you signed up for a free trial, that's what they did. They did not have a
Whoa.
Disney Plus subscription they paid for, to my knowledge. In 2019, they signed up for a 1-month free trial of the streaming service via the PlayStation console.
That's insane. You're saying PlayStation, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
That's even worse.
Sue Sony.
Yeah, Sue Sony, they had. Wow, how could you allow such a company to run a platform on your
Right.
Xbox, PlayStation? Wow,
Can't blame Microsoft this time.
you're right.
The legal team at Disney is really, like, crazy for
yeah.
putting that in there.
Well, if you got that kind of
Especially-
money, I'd have a great legal team, too.
Well, I
yeah.
feel like they should be able to just say, like, these are two different circumstances. She was at the park, which doesn't have that. Does it? When you buy a ticket,
So
does it say you can't
app,
sue?
the app that they used to purchase tickets to Epcot, also had a clause in there that you cannot sue Disney for events with your
Right.
tickets or anything that happens in the park. However, she died before they got to redeem their tickets, even.
Oh.
So now they can't use their tickets, which is another part of this battle. But the lawsuit isn't even over that aspect of it. It was brought up in court that, well, you guys also, signed another agreement when you used our app for tickets, but tickets should be null and void at this point. They don't. That's not what the
Right.
lawsuit's about.
They were never redeemed, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Okay, so if I'm Disney, I'm a multi-billion-dollar company. Do I really want to go into court with this husband who just lost his wife?
Right.
I'm curious. What were they asking? Because I know what I would ask for.
I got to find the direct,
Millions. I would ask for millions.
Oh, yeah, I would
There's no
absolutely.
price on my wife.
Yeah. I just feel like there should be the Disney Plus signature for "Don't Sue Us" should only be towards Disney Plus and anything that happens within that app.
Right.
Not
Especially
anything
when
that
you're
happens to
Disney
your
and you
person.
own everything under the sun.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you just brought up the fact they own Fox now.
Yeah.
I could be watching something on Fox Sports, and
Right.
something happens at a Fox-produced sporting event that
like,
directly
ooh.
affects me, and I can't sue them.
Wow.
Don't sue us for that one. We didn't put
That's a
anything.
first. and I can't sue them, as I was saying very clearly and precisely. We really need that water sponsorship. Stanley Cup, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Isn't that hockey? We need that sponsorship. We also need to not sue Disney, because if I'm at a Fox event and something happens at a Fox event, they are a subsidiary of Disney now. So is ABC.
Right.
So I can't sue ABC if I have a Disney Plus subscription, or I had a free trial at one point.
Yeah, it's insane.
That clause should be illegal.
Right.
Like, and I think that's where a lot of this lawsuit is getting down to now.
Yeah.
In addition to the matter at hand, because having a clause that says, oh, unless it's small claims, you can't go to court for anything related to Disney because you
Yeah.
signed up for our service.
Also, small claims.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
They're like, well, we'll give you $200.
Here, take that. Buy yourself a nicer dinner with no nuts in it.
Yeah,
Like,
you get
Without
one
your
free
wife.
dinner.
without your wife.
You
Bill
get-
will be cheaper.
You get one free dinner and a ticket to Epcot. Well, I already had that. Yeah.
So what was?
I can't find the direct price in this article that they're asking for, but
Yeah.
the Disney lawyers are claiming on those the two grounds that
Yeah.
well, everyone should have read the terms and conditions when they signed up.
Yeah.
And it's not our fault if you didn't read them thoroughly. It was in there. That's essentially the stance that Disney is taking with this.
I remember.
Why are they being such assholes?
Because
about
they're
it?
Disney.
Right. Oh, of course. But yeah, that's the thing. I remember somebody said it was like $50,000 or something.
It's something like that, I
like
believe.
not a lot of money.
I heard it was like 75.
Regardless, a drop in
Yeah.
the bucket to
Yeah.
Disney.
They probably made that extra 25 grand in the minute that we were just talking
Right.
about it.
I feel like it's worse publicity for them to be dealing with this than to just pay out.
Oh yeah. Well, but how are you gonna explain to your kid like, Dad, can I go to Disney? No, because they screwed over some guy in Florida once. Be like, but Dad, I want to go to Disney. It's
You
like,
better not die.
well, don't die. You better not have a nut allergy. I mean, I just think it's like, I don't want to support Disney that screws people over all the time, but they made the mouse, and like Pixar,
You can't fight the mouse.
you can't fight the mouse, man.
Is DreamWorks owned by Disney now?
Ooh, I don't think so.
I'm the
Maybe?
wrong guy to ask about that.
I know they got the Pixar, but
Right. So here's the grounds that the family is taking right now.
Mhm.
They are not suing as the father. They're suing on the behalf of the estate of the mother.
Ooh.
So their claim right now in courts, as of this morning, is that, well, we're suing on behalf of the estate. This estate didn't exist in 2019 because she was still alive.
Ah.
So there's no reason that the plaintiff in this case, the estate, could have signed up for an account in 2019 to agree
Right.
to that term because it didn't exist in 2019. That's their stance they're taking.
Yeah.
On
That's
top of
smart.
the fact that it's ridiculous to think they have a direct number in here somewhere. 153 million subscribers are going to read this clause in the terms and conditions. They said you can't just bury this in the terms and conditions somewhere and expect 153 million people to.
Oh, right.
Acknowledge
I
that.
mean, it's amazing. That's only happened once.
Yeah.
You know?
And I wonder how much it has
That's
because it
true.
says arbitration, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean someone has had an accident or an incident at Disney that was settled outside of court.
for sure. Right.
I'm sure that happens daily.
Oh, I'm sure.
So this going to court is just bringing to light this clause in your Disney Plus subscription ship.
Yeah.
Which also, isn't Disney Plus lumped in like a package now for TV providers, or like
Yeah.
you sign up for Hulu and
Oh,
you get
yeah. I've signed up for it once without meaning to.
right. So you don't even have to go out of your way to sign up for
Mhm.
Disney. You could be gifted a free month of Disney Plus with your Hulu subscription.
That's what I
and
was
now
gonna
you
say.
can no longer sue Fox or ABC or yeah.
Yeah, that seems very, very wrong.
Yeah. This is illegal. This should be very illegal.
100%.
But you know, I've never read those damn.
You don't?
I like to think I could, but I don't know how to read.
Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Have you read the terms and conditions on your iPhone every update? Because you should.
Should I lie and say I did? Legally? I don't know. Or no. I did not read them.
Could you be sued
I
for,
ca-
for not reading your terms and conditions?
Oh, I don't think. Can you?
Because you're agreeing to them, right?
Well,
You're,
I'm
you're
agreeing,
agreeing
to
that you
them.
read them.
I mean, you can
Whoa.
agree that you read all of the paperwork that a car dealership gives you, but you don't have to.
Are you agreeing that you read it, or are you just agreeing with whatever the heck the thing you were supposed to read
I
said?
think you're
Isn't-
agreeing with the terms and conditions.
No, isn't it typically that I have read and agree these terms and conditions? Isn't that usually the terminology
yeah,
used
that's
when you
the
click the box?
checkbox.
They do.
Yeah.
They do say that.
So if they turn around and say, "Well, you didn't read it, and you agreed that you read it,"
Reading is different than comprehension. Am I right? I mean,
That's fair.
I can read a lot of things.
I've read a lot of things. All right, I
At
got confused.
the end of the day, I might just agree with you.
That was just some light work that day. I was between 3 other novels. You expect me to memorize what was going where?
I was between 3 other subscription services I was trying to subscribe to.
All subsidiaries of Disney, by the way.
Every last one of them.
But can Disney sue you, or does it have to go through their arbitration?
Oh,
I'm
you
assuming
sign these.
Disney can sue you.
you mean like if you? Yeah, definitely.
Like if you signed this terms and conditions that, well, I guess
If we get a cease and desist from Disney, I'm going to turn back around and say this has to go through arbitration or small claims. We
Yeah,
can't settle
hold
it this
on.
way.
I'm a Disney Plus subscriber. You must arbitrate with me.
I have a family member that is. I am not, so I
Uh-huh.
have not signed the terms and conditions.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, that's basically what this case is, right?
Yeah,
You're also not allowed to die in Disney parks.
yeah, that's true.
which is a wild.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I was correct on this because I'd heard it before. So this morning I did a research and I found an article from someone who worked on the EMS team at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that you are not allowed to, even though I think to date like 68 people or something like that have actually died in Disney parks.
It's like straight up.
They're not.
just-
Yeah, they're not recognized by Disney.
They don't pronounce them dead until they're past the Disney walls.
Right. So
That's
this
ridiculous.
yeah, this former EMS says there's a bunch of rules on health conditions and death when it comes to Disney, and no one has ever died in Disney parks according to Disney because the EMS team is dispatched and they're put in an ambulance and they're either pronounced dead on the way to the hospital once they've left the property or at the hospital, even if you're decapitated.
Yeah, just because they say, no, you're not dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Because up until 2 years ago, Disneyland in Florida was a sovereign state. It was a sovereign territory. It didn't abide by the laws of Florida.
Oh.
And that got overturned, I think, earlier last year. But they made their own rules and laws for Disneyland. So
Okay.
I
Disney
think,
World, Florida, Disneyland,
Okay.
California.
so
Yeah,
Disney
that makes
World
sense.
then was a sovereign territory.
Oh yeah, it's,
Um,
it was
it's
its
a whole
own
globe.
whole
Disney
world.
Whole world. But yeah, that got overturned.
Whole new world.
That got overturned last year, but I think that was a large part too why, they have their own EMS that
Right.
they're told, hey, you cannot pronounce someone dead while they're
Mhm.
on this estate. You have to leave and then do it.
That hospital right outside the
Yeah.
walls are like
High mortality rate.
high mortality.
Never open a hospital near Disney.
Yeah,
No.
they had their own like village where all the cast members would stay, and those were their houses, and they were under the guise.
That's what
of
Epcot
the-
was initially supposed to be.
Oh yeah,
The
I forgot about
Epcot
that.
Center was supposed to be like a futuristic,
The new age.
like a Truman Show kind of
Yeah.
world. Yeah,
Right.
it was supposed to be a village.
Utopia.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was under the guise of their government
Yeah.
of Disney.
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They-
it was a Disney government ran by the mouse, and
Ran by that mouse, man.
so Disney still employs EMS, which I think legally you have to for any like
Oh,
amusement
for
park
sure,
or thing
yeah.
like that. But is because they're Disney EMS and paramedics, they're not just like the state of Florida EMS.
Sure. Yeah.
They can get away with not pronouncing people dead at Disney.
That's like jumping into a lake and then coming out of the lake and saying, "I'm not wet." Like you are,
I'm not wet just yet.
but my entity says that I don't think I am. So like you might be dead in Disney, but they're not going to recognize
No.
that. That's
not
nuts.
here. You ain't.
No, but you better go into a shower, then you'll be wet.
We'll check once they get past the date. We can't be sure yet.
Right.
Too much magic happening here to be sure.
Oh, that's
That's
true.
what it is, the
you
magic-
Could, how many Disney characters have come back to life?
You're also not allowed to dress up at Disney over the age of 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
'cause-
wear any kind of costume.
you could be mistaken as a cast member.
Fucking crazy.
Oh.
Fucking crazy. Imagine I'm a
Yeah.
diehard Woody fan.
Die Hard.
Imagine
You
I'm
like
a
that?
diehard
You're
Woody
a,
fan.
You're a
Yeah.
fan of Woody.
I'm a fan of Woody.
Like how many of them? You're all the Woodies?
Just the classic.
Oh, okay.
Me and classic Woody hanging out at the park.
Gotcha.
So I'm a big Woody guy, and
At the park.
at the park, the Disney parks.
Hey.
And I'm like, dude, I've waited my whole life to go to the park, see the Woody. So I'm gonna head to
Experience the
toe
Woody.
cowboy it up. Since I am a cowboy after all, I'm gonna show up at Disney and dressed like Woody because he's my favorite.
Right.
And then I get to the park and they say, nah, not here.
You're not our favorite deputy,
I
is what they would say.
there would certainly be a snake in my boot.
Whoa.
You're telling me I paid thousands of dollars for my Disney pass and a flight and a hotel just to see Woody, and I can't even fucking experience it how I want to?
You have to go in there and buy their merchandise.
Yeah, you have to buy the official Disney
That's how
Woody
they get you.
costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you buy a costume there, if you're allowed to change into it.
Probably not.
They probably don't sell them.
Yeah, that's probably true. They
Well,
probably just
also,
sell 'em there.
I think like specifically the Woody one, it's like one of those full-on mascot like helmet things.
With the face and everything.
Yeah, the whole get up. That'd be cool if they sold those. But I don't know.
You think if you bought like one like that, like a legit
Yeah.
costume, like off eBay or something like that, how
Uh-huh.
far do you think you could get in a way like they think you work there?
Oh yeah, you just like walk into the.
Yeah.
Well, you probably have to show your credentials.
Not if you're like on the floor. They're not going to come and ask. You're not allowed to take your head off at Disney.
Not
either.
if you're the sheriff Woody.
Yeah, dude, I am the sheriff.
Let
You're
me
also
in.
not
I'm
allowed.
just going to tell them someone poisoned the water hole. I got bigger things to attend to.
The cast members are not allowed to end a hug with a child first. They have to wait until the child backs away from the hug.
That seems awful Jared Fogle of them.
It's sweet.
Sure, that's a word. 216-859-8699 if you've died at Disney. Hey, welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. I'm radio's Rebel DJ Style. On the board is Jules.
Hello.
To my right's Eric.
Hi.
It's a new hour, so that means if you're listening on a Rebel replay, a Rebel recast, on a Rebel recast throughout the week, that's Tuesday through Friday at 5 p.m. on WSRRradio.com, there's probably a good chance you're not hearing these in order. So if that's you, thanks for listening. And also, Eric's here. He was on off air during Two Soups and
The Two Soup Incident.
the previous hour of the Rebel Radio Show. But now it's a new hour. 216-859-8699, still the same number to text in. And we're brought to you by GenericClothes.com, Clearview Windows out of Northern Ohio, and Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago. And don't forget, as of right now, this isn't going to do well in post. As of right now, there is the WSRR Song of the Summer 24 contest. I think there's 9 or 10 different songs you can vote for at WSRRradio.com. You can cast your vote. Voting ends September 1st, and we'll name the Song of the Summer for 2024. I believe Lila Elizabeth is currently in the lead. Fuzzy Vandalay,
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
Who did you
Relic.
vote for?
I didn't vote. I'm impartial.
Ooh, are you just saying
Impartial.
that?
I'm impartial. I might be just saying that. You'll never know. 216-859-8699 is the number to text in during the show. And let me know who you voted for. If you want to just out yourself like that, that's fine by me. Why do I have a Reddit story up here, Jules?
So it's basically one of those "Am I the Asshole" forums.
Oh, yeah. Love those.
And this.
Hang on real quick. I got banned from Reddit.
Ooh, what? Oh, that's rough.
Like permanently.
Oh.
Like I can't make a new account.
You had to, like, really mess up, dude.
Well, I was teaching people how to make meth and bombs, so no,
yeah,
I was.
that
God, I
happens.
really hope people listen to this in the airport. That's really
Bomb.
that's really my goal in life is to have like someone with AirPods in and they like die while I'm talking in the airport and all they hear is
God.
I have a bomb. That's my goal in life. No, I was banned from Reddit. I logged on yesterday morning, I opened my app, and it said your account has been permanently banned. I said, that's interesting. And I looked into why. It's because I violated community guidelines, and it listed under spam because there's a few podcast and radio show promotion groups in there I'll send the link to. But because if you're user of Reddit, you know you have to have the title and then the description and then the link embedded. Because of all that, I just copy and paste it, and I'll paste it in the next group and move on.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been suspended like for 3 days, 4 days before in certain subreddits before.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now I'm permanently banned from Reddit to the point where I was like, I'll just make a new account. It kind of sucks. You know, I'll just follow all my same shit. Made a new account, followed all my same shit. An hour later, you've been permanently banned.
Ooh.
Well, that's interesting. So I'm like, well, I have an account from like 2016. My friend made me at one point.
You
I'll
got to
try
make like
and-
a new email address.
Yeah,
and
so I'm
everything.
like, well, it's an old email. I don't use it anymore. I'm like, if I can remember the password, maybe I can just log in and change out all the things I follow, right?
Yeah.
So I did that. Permanently banned as
Oh.
soon as I logged in. So I'm like, this is definitely like an IP thing at this
Yeah,
point.
they've got
So,
you cornered.
I shouldn't say this because Reddit's listening. I know they are. Mr. Reddit. John Reddit.
Is that what it?
No.
Okay.
I made a new account last night
Oh.
with my phone number,
Ooh.
not an email.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
And I turned on a VPN when I made the account in like Romania. So I made the account. As of before recording, it's still active. So I'm hoping this works.
Somebody on Reddit, find it.
Don't hey fuck! I'm also running out of names. Can't use any of my fucking names on Reddit anymore because I took style and profile when I made them in like 2016. I took it with underscores and without, so both of those are gone. I was style and P on the account that just got banned, so I can't use that. I have no names left on Reddit. Anyway, why are you inciting riots in my head with Reddit?
Well, this not banned Reddit user posted in a Am I the Asshole forum, and he basically stated that he was invited out to lunch with his mom and his two sisters, and his two sisters had brought their children, and they have like 2 children each. So he is in his early 20s, and his sisters are both in their 30s.
Okay.
just to preface the family.
Sure.
So
It's all good context. Yeah.
at the end of this dinner or lunch, they were asked to equally split the bill to pay for mom and everybody else. Like, mom wasn't asked to pay at all.
Oh, of course.
So it was between the 3 siblings. He is throwing a fit now because he only ate for 1.
Okay.
Each one of his sisters brought their children. They, as a group, they all ate for 6.
Right.
Here's my stance on this right out the bat. I think I'm more on his side than anything, because if I'm going to dinner, and it's important too. Was it prefaced beforehand that they were splitting the bill?
No, he was invited to the dinner.
Okay, well that's a big issue.
Yeah, it's another thing.
Because if you're like, hey, we're taking out the parents for dinner, we're gonna buy them dinner, I'm expecting to have some kind of input in the total bill. Then,
right.
I'm expecting to cover some portion of something other than myself.
Yeah.
If we're like, hey, we're going out for dinner, I'm like, cool.
I'll
we're-
pay for mom.
Yeah, we're going out for dinner.
Yeah.
Well, no, not even that. It's just, hey, we're going out for dinner. That's the message I get. Then I'm not expecting to pay for anyone but myself.
Yeah.
So I think in most scenarios, I'm against split the bill in most scenarios. Unless it's like, hey, 3 friends will go get some wings or something like that, and we'll all just cash app. Unless it's something like that,
Right.
that's fine. If it's like group of 6, kids are there, extended families there, we'll
Right.
just all split the bill evenly. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, especially if it wasn't like a special occasion.
Right.
However, I think my take on it. Okay, the story and all this keeps saying like his sister and their children and his other sister and her children. Those are his nieces and nephews.
Fucking hates them.
Like
Fucking hates those
They're not
kids.
just like his sister's kids. Like that's that niece and nephew. Why is
Do you
he
know
so against?
Do you know people that talk about like their family that way? Because I've definitely
no.
encountered people that's like, oh yeah, my sister's kids.
No, I
Like,
mean
those
like
are those are your
yeah.
nephews.
Right? Like recently I've seen people who are like, I'm so happy to be an uncle, I'm so happy to be an aunt, or
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is. Like, I'll spoil them till the day I die. It's like clearly this guy does not like his nieces and nephews. Bunch of shitheads. He's like, I gotta pay for them.
It also could
Damn.
be the age aspect. He's in his early 20s.
Yep.
He
Trying to get by.
Yeah.
may not have a whole lot, and now he's expected to pay for 5 people out of this 7 people dinner.
Here's my issue with splitting the bill, is because that implies that total's $100. We're gonna split it 6 ways or whatever, right?
Sure.
That's what that implies. If splitting the bill means I'm gonna pay for my food and then I'll throw in $10 or $15 for the person we're buying for, I have no issue with that.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right,
like
right,
that. I feel like that's what he went into this dinner thinking.
Right.
Sure.
But I see his point. I don't think it's right because again they are his nieces and nephews.
And his mom
That's
and dad
pretty
or
shitty,
whatever
right?
it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, you guys don't need to eat on my behalf. If I would have set this up, we just ate at home. Would have made spaghetti.
right.
Uh,
Yeah, I see that concept of like I'm gonna pay for my meal and then whatever the heck the split is.
yeah.
But this was more just full bill, split 3 ways. But
We-
yada yada.
We did a story a while ago where someone, I think it was an uncle, took a family out to eat, and because the kid had bought,
The most expensive steak.
he bought
Wow.
he bought like an 18-ounce steak, and the uncle's like, well, he's not going to eat all that. I'm not going to pay for it. Was essentially how this broke down. He was going to treat
Oh.
he was going to
Like
treat
to
them
the
all to
waiter?
dinner. Yeah, he was going to treat all the family to dinner, and because his nephew had bought this steak,
Uh-huh.
he tried to convince his brother or brother-in-law, the father of the kid, that hey, he's not going to get that, or I'm not going to pay for it. Essentially,
Oh.
was what it came down to because he thought it was too expensive for the child to eat the steak. In that scenario, these two are much the same in that aspect. I think of
Uncle problems.
classic uncle problem.
Come on, Unc. Just pay for the kid.
But like, that's my question is, I think at the time the steak it was like a $50 steak or something like that. Like it was
Okay,
absurdly
fancy
expensive.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Like
but he
boxes aren't a thing.
right.
Come on.
But he took them out specifically to a nice. Like it was the whole point of that story was he took them to a nice restaurant because
Oh.
they were they didn't have as much money as him. Like it was supposed to be a treat.
I see.
That was the whole aspect of that story. But then he's like, oh, it's too expensive. My question now is, I'm siding with this guy if and only if his sisters knowing, because it seems like everyone knew but him what the plan was.
Yeah.
If his sisters knowingly were like, oh, we're splitting the bill, let's just splurge.
Ooh,
Let's get steak and lobster, and the kids can eat 3 entrees.
That's true.
That's my question: is did they over-order?
And he's getting like the side salad to try to keep the bill down. Like, guys, please, I'll have a water.
Like, we'll all have appetizers. We'll get a sampler, boneless wings, a couple cocktails.
If my $20 bill is subtracted from the total, maybe it'll be reasonable.
Yeah, I can only imagine. What if he ordered like the cheapest thing on the menu and like had a water, didn't have any sides or appetizers, and now he's being asked to pay for split the bill evenly with everybody's appetizers, everybody's Coke, everybody's like.
Yeah,
that's a lot, especially if you were just prefaced like, "Hey, we're taking mom out to dinner."
Right.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm against splitting the bill evenly in most cases because of things like that. Because it only takes one person at the table to put that together in their head and go, well, I'm going to have 6 beers.
Well, yeah.
A few more should help.
That could be the mindset. Maybe the bro just gets the most expensive thing with 6
what
beers.
if he was doing it? Yeah.
Because turn those tables, now they're going to be paying more, even though they got 3 mouths to feed.
Yeah, you know what? He shouldn't have been upset. He should have ordered more.
Yeah, he should have ordered way more.
You're
Get
right.
the $50 steak too. Why not?
He
Get a second entree to take home.
Yeah, they're
he
paying.
Probably would have if he would have known before the bill came and they were like, even split?
Nah,
Split it evenly.
You know how you get out of this? You bring only cash.
Ooh.
I've only got $40 cash on me.
That's all I got.
Don't even have my wallet. Left it at home. $40 cash.
Yeah, that's not bad. Be like, that's the max I'm paying.
Yeah, it's the max I can pay.
I mean, you could be like, well, hey, you owe me one, like, later.
True. I've never been in this scenario.
Well, so I've got 2 older siblings, and I'm in my 20s, so I can relate to this guy
You're in
a
your
lot,
20s?
I think. Let me check. Yes.
Shit, dude.
Uh-huh. Isn't that wild? And sometimes when I'm at the dinner like this, and they'll be like, Eric, don't worry about it. Like, we'll cover it. Like, oh, I'm just a little kid to you. Like, but like, I could pay my food, you know? And so sometimes I feel like that side of like, you're still just the little brother. Like, we've got this. Don't worry. I like to be included sometimes. Like, I can help pay
I
for
got big boy
mom.
money.
Yeah. Like, I'll get the tip, you know? So in this aspect.
That's the worst is when you get the tip.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Well, that's when it helps to have cash.
True.
But yeah, you know, in this is I would be happy that my siblings are like, this is a sibling thing. We're all in this together, and we trust that you have the cash to make it happen.
Right,
little bro. That'd be like
He
a confidence
Fuck
boost.
them kids.
He really did.
He does not care for his family, it seems.
He's like, I took them to ice cream. I bought them birthday presents. What else do you want from me?
He's like, this is not under the uncle obligation.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm just saying, there's a scenario in my head. And again, I've never been in this kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the time that I've split a bill with a group, it has either been I plan on paying it in general, and people will just cash at me whatever after the fact. They've realized I've paid it.
Oh, yeah.
Or we all like go, okay, well, here's what I ordered. Here's the money, either cash or Cash App.
Yeah.
On the spot. That's like the 2 instances of splitting the bill that I've encountered, right?
Where you pay for your meal.
Right. Or I plan to pay for the whole meal.
Mm-hmm.
One of those.
Crazy. This is where you're going. I hate to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I just learned that what you can do is you can just give 3 credit cards in the bill and then give it to the waiter or waitress.
And they'll split it evenly. Really?
I've never, it was like a couple weeks ago I did that for the first time with a group of people, and they were like, yeah, just put your credit card in with mine. 1 bill, 3 credit cards. I was like, well, that's kind of weird.
I never would have thought about that, but yeah, that makes total sense.
I would have
Especially like working a POS, I have done that between
That's what I'm
cards.
saying.
So like,
not gonna lie, the only thought that went through my mind was like, then the waiter is playing like Russian roulette with who's paying the bill.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't.
Pick one card.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like they could split
yeah,
it.
they're
on
gonna
the thing or
they're gonna
whatever.
just subtract by. Yeah.
I never thought that would be a thing. Like I would think
Right?
you put 3 cards in the thing. Who's paying for dinner? We don't know.
That could be kind of fun.
Regardless,
That's a good one. Yeah.
I can envision a scenario where I get invited to dinner and not being told that By people I know very well, I can imagine a scenario where I'm invited to family dinner and not told that we're splitting the bill evenly.
Right.
I can very realistically imagine that happening tomorrow. I would get a text and be like, hey, we're all meeting up this day. Be there. And I'd show up and I'd be told as they were passing out the bill that we're splitting it evenly. That's a very realistic thing I can see happening to me.
Yeah, it can happen. But when they bring their extras, then it's when it becomes a problem.
No kids at dinner.
No more extras.
No more kids.
Kids are just extra.
216-859-8699. Put them in a daycare.
But yeah,
I hate that you call them fucking gyros.
they're gyros. They're gyros. It's a Greek word. Damn
I'm
it.
not Greek.
It's a Greek word. Damn it.
Greek.
Dude, get him to the Greek.
I'm not Greek. I don't go in the fucking.
What do you call it? Parmesan. It's parmesan then for you, buddy.
No, it's not.
Parmigiano.
I'm not
It's
Greek.
called a fucking gyro.
I don't drive through Taco Bell and go, yeah, let me get pollo. I don't do that. I say
Ugh.
chicken because I'm not Mexican.
Yeah, Evan, I don't go through the drive-thru and say, I want spaghetti. I say, give me the noodles.
It's the Rebel Radio Show.
Yeah.
It sure is.
I wasn't paying attention when we came back. I'm not going to lie. 216-859-8699. We got a voicemail during one of the breaks. I can't play that right now. So, podcast. It'll be in post. Stay tuned for that. It'll also just probably be on the radio. That's WSRR Radio. Streaming worldwide 24/7, 365. Take us with you anywhere you go with the free Live 365 app. It's available on your smartphone. It's available, I think you can get it on Alexa now, but it's available on your smart TV, especially Roku, comes automatically installed. And any car newer than 2019 that has touchscreen navigation and the apps feature has Live 365 built into it. So you can take us with you wherever you go worldwide.
Whoa.
24/7, 365. We're saving underground music scene. And we're also giving you lawn care tips.
Mm.
So there's a neighbor. This is from the U.S. Sun. There's a neighbor who accidentally mowed a little bit too much of his neighbor's lawn. He passed the dividing line in their properties and just cut a little bit of his grass. It doesn't say he did a bad job. It doesn't say like he scraped the fucking ground or anything. Just cut his grass.
Went a little overboard.
Right. And
As a good neighbor sometimes does.
Right. And because of that, the neighbor instead took quite the offense. And, rather than having a conversation or showing the property line to him, he went out with weed killer and made a hashed line down the property line of dead grass so he knows where to stop cutting.
That is so petty.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have just put up a fence.
Well, I think that's I think it's just a
Sure.
conversation you could have. Or just, cut the grass.
Or pay a surveyor to put out the stakes, and
Or
now you know where your line is.
or don't cut the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got somebody else cutting your grass. That's pretty nice.
Right, I know. That's the less work you have to do.
Yeah.
They don't even look different. Like, it
They
doesn't
don't.
look
No,
like they
yeah.
fucked up at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. He didn't do a bad job. Like I can understand.
I could see a little bit of a line on the right side. I'm imagining he went over his line on the right because that grass
Right,
on the
yeah,
right
where it gets a
is
little darker.
Yeah, that's
It's
some
a little
nice-
longer. A little longer
A
grass.
little longer, some Kentucky blue or whatever.
I bet this is an HOA, and they have like
Oh,
lawn
probably.
It
restrictions.
must be.
Look at these houses. This
Look
is
at-
definitely an HOA.
Look at the side of that house. That's got HOA written all
Look at
over
the
it.
stonework. That's an HOA.
Oh yeah.
Don't you love doing visuals on radio?
Oh, right.
The only
The big gray brick house.
She's a brick.
Ooh.
House.
I know that's not local or independent.
Sorry.
The only instance I could ever see, because this is something I've encountered where I've cut other people's grass on accident, and I've had my grass cut on accident.
Oh boy.
And I've never been upset about it. I've always been interested of like, oh, I wonder if this was intentional or if they, just didn't know where the line was. Because I do it sometimes too.
You do know where the line is?
I know where the line is, but when you're cutting the grass, especially when the neighbor's grass is already cut, it's hard to find that distinctive line if you've
Right.
made one pass. It's never been an issue to where I'm like, oh, fuck this guy for cutting
Mowing
and or
my
not
lawn.
cutting my lawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not his job, so if he cuts it, that's beneficial to me, and if he doesn't cut it, I shouldn't expect him to. It's my lawn.
Now he has a bit of his grass that isn't cut.
Right. But the interesting part is I don't see where this could be a deterrent unless the neighbor is just not cutting his grass. Because the only thing that would look bad is if your grass is long everywhere except for this area where it's nicely cut.
Yeah. Now
But then you would think that that's the neighbor's yard. There wouldn't be like that one line
Right.
on your property looks like shit. That looks like the neighbor's yard now.
Right, I'm saying that this is definitely the neighbor knowing where his property is
Right.
and just being mad that his grass has been cut.
and of course, the obvious point of the fact is that it looks terrible now that you've bleached a decent line of your grass.
It
Yeah.
literally looks like the yellow line in the middle of the road.
It looks terrible.
I wonder how much thought went into that. Like he chose
yeah.
to get weed killer and like make hashed lines throughout the property line.
He could have made a solid line.
He
I feel
could've.
like that would have been
It almost would have been better.
more
He could have bought
aesthetically pleasing.
tomato steaks, string,
Yeah.
grass paint.
Yeah, but to go and do that,
Yeah.
like dotted lines,
Kill the grass.
because now not only does your neighbor's grass look bad,
Yours
your
does.
grass looks bad too.
Yeah, that looks infinitely worse than like a 2-centimeter cut of grass that's different.
And if it really is directly on the line of the property line, then some of your grass is dead now.
Right. Yeah, you have not benefited anymore.
No.
There is no benefit to this.
This
So
is the stupidest thing ever.
the story goes on a little bit here. The person that cut the grass, not the neighbor, the person that cut the grass also says that he's trying to sell his house currently. So this definitely does not help curb appeal.
Yeah.
No. Now, I have stumbled upon, what's the grass talk? Like the grass side of TikTok.
Okay.
I've stumbled across the grass man before, but I've never been a grass top.
No, I heard he's very hard to find.
He's elusive.
Yeah.
Old orange eyes himself.
He hasn't popped up on my grass talk yet.
He will. He'll be there.
Boy.
Now that we've talked about him.
Yeah.
There we go. But, there's some people that are very, very, very into their yard. and grass. Maybe this guy, said, fine fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, all these different kinds. Like he's like got the special seed.
He fertilized it twice a week.
Yeah, maybe he's really into the yard. Well, but that doesn't add up.
Yeah, because then you just killed this
he
fucking
just
grass.
killed it. Oh yeah,
No,
it
it
looks
looks
so
worse.
good. Fuck it.
and again, for some radio listeners, this is the most generic American suburban side of the house I've ever seen.
Picture literally any suburb or any development you've ever been in. There it is. And now it's got a hashed line of dead grass. You couldn't have just had a conversation and be like, hey man, that's my yard. Could you not cut that?
No.
It doesn't say that this is a recurring thing.
It was a one-time
this
thing.
is one time this happened. This guy's like, oh, fuck him.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? Sometimes in these developments, like, deer will walk by.
Yeah.
Well, they just like created like a highway for the deer. Like now they know what side of the grass to be on when they're passing.
I'll tell you right now, they put up those deer crossing signs.
Yeah.
You ever seen a deer crossing them? What are they for? They're
Crossing
not,
the sign?
They're not reading them.
Have you ever?
There's a lot of good those do.
There was a viral video that went viral not too long ago. Yeah. I realized
I
how
love
stupid that
3.
sounded, but that this lady called into the police department because she was pissed off that deer crossing signs were put on the highway. Because she's like, why would we tell the deer it's okay to cross there?
That's what I'm saying.
The police officer was like, you really think the deer are following the signs?
They do not abide the law. Let me tell you right now.
No, they don't.
No.
They're rascals.
They'll run into your car.
I know that. I cut my grass about 2 months ago. No, thank you. I haven't cut it since. Looks terrible.
All right.
Actually need to cut my grass. I cut my grass about 2 months ago in the backyard of my property. The property line is lined with trees. So often I have a riding lawnmower. I don't weave in and out of the trees every time. So I'll, kind of leave between the trees either a little longer or I'll go back with a weed whacker and cut it, right? Mm-hmm. There's one area at the very end of the property line. There's one tree between the property, and there's a little patch of grass behind it.
Okay.
Now, typically, I will go around the tree and cut that patch and come back into my yard because it is just like maybe 2 feet of grass there, right?
Yeah.
And why not?
It'd be weird not to
Yeah,
get
why not? So I cut it, but I don't go completely around the tree. I just cut that patch behind it where it's open. I went to go cut my grass 2 months ago, and noticed that not only was around the tree entirely cut where that patch is, but a line under the tree on my side and like back into the yard.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, the neighbor must have cut that. My thought was, nice, I don't have to do the hard work of cutting it now. Mine wasn't, fuck you, get off my land.
Right.
I'm going to go make a fucking dead grass line.
Well, that is, such a fun thing of passive-aggressive ways to show your discontent for something, but it makes me excited to have a lawn of my own one day. But that is, I would just say, has he done it since? Oh, that was 2 months ago.
That's 2 months ago.
You haven't cut your. Yeah,
I haven't cut my grass in 2 months.
Sorry about that. Okay.
I'm waiting on him to come finish the rest of it. I'm like, maybe if I just let it grow, he'll just do it all.
Yeah, but maybe next time, he'll just continue to do it. And now you never have to do that again.
I'm gonna make something real clear here. I know people are obsessive about lawns sometimes, especially in developments like this.
Yeah.
Grass will grow back. It really doesn't matter. I used to do landscaping.
The Arizona listeners are going nuts.
They couldn't even comprehend grass. Fucking idiots. Go kick rocks and sand. Clay. I used to do landscaping, and I'd go to really rich developments to cut grass because we got paid better. Oh, yeah. So, these are huge yards. And my guy that I'd cut grass with, my buddy, would have a big Exmark zero-turn riding lawnmower, and he'd typically do the front, and I'd go do the back, and I'd do the trim and the edging and shit like that. And there were many times where either a mower broke, or the blade dropped, or you just fuck up, and you scorch the grass, or you cut into the dirt, or you leave a ding in the yard, and we just left.
Oh.
We would never tell them.
Oh.
And we never got complaints.
Oh.
It's just grass.
It's just grass.
I feel
happens.
like this story is like the same vein of when one neighbor wants to build a fence on the property line and asks the other neighbor to help pay for it because it's the same property line.
Yeah, fuck that.
I feel like that's always a little iffy to me.
Also,
Right.
if I'm building the fence enough on my property line, I shouldn't need their permission.
Exactly.
I think that's a dumb rule.
Like, if
yeah.
you're building at least 2 inches into yours, then they
Yeah.
gain 2 inches of their property, basically.
Yeah, I'm giving you land.
Right. I think, I wouldn't even be mad if they did that.
I might just do that. I might just build a fence.
Build that fence.
Build that fence. 216-859-8699 if you want to come help me build a fence. Yeah, we're up.
Okay, I'm up.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut and uncensored on WSRR Radio. If you're listening live, you can do so at WSRRadio.com or the Live 365 app. Or if you're listening in podcast form on a Wednesday, you can listen at 10 a.m. every Wednesday for new episodes of the Rebel Podcast. Or if if you're listening Tuesday through Friday, you can tune in at 5 p.m. for Rebel Recasts. 5 p.m. weekdays, WSRR Radio. Again, thank you to Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, Clearview Windows in Northern Ohio, and GenericClothes.com for sponsoring WSRR Radio. Let's talk about cars being sold.
Okay.
You in the market for a 1992 Dodge Dart?
I'm not. I just bought a car myself, so I'm good.
You did just buy a car, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good for a while.
You have any trouble buying that car?
No, it was quite a seamless process. Go to the dealership, tell them how much I want to pay, check out the car.
No, let me ask you a question. There's three types of people. There's three types of people. When something goes wrong in your car.
Oh yeah.
Do you take it to a shop? Do you fix it yourself, or do you take it to the dealer?
I call my dad.
Yeah.
Option
All right,
four,
fair enough.
No, I'll give it to like a friend of mine that is pretty savvy with car stuff.
Okay. So
and then if they're like, then I'll just take it to the guy.
You
know,
take
the
but-
guy.
Yeah.
but a shop
A
guy?
shop.
Not
the
the dealer.
dealer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know quite a few people that'll go directly to the dealer, and that's never something I've done.
I feel like that really only works for cars under warranty.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not really saving any money if it's not under warranty.
Well, now I'm a little more suspect of taking it to just a shop because of this story. This guy's car was sold without his knowledge. He took it to the shop. He had some radiator issues, left it at the mechanic, came back to get his car, and found out that his car had been sold. The mechanic thought that it was there to be auctioned, apparently.
Did it not have this guy's stuff in it? Or
Yeah, what
a
kind of
license
shop are
plate?
you going to?
Does
yeah.
he regularly sell cars on his lot?
That's what I'm asking. Like, if it's just a mechanic, that's not something I've ever seen in a mechanic.
He's like, oh, I got these keys. Maybe somebody wants them. That's
I'm really trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, like, in small towns, sometimes you'll pass, like, a local lot and they have, or
Yeah.
a local garage and they have, like, a car for sale.
Right.
Because
right.
someone sold it to them and they are just trying to flip it, right? Or it's the owner's car he's trying to sell or something like that. I could see that. This dude sold it to an auction.
Yeah, that's wild.
He's like, I don't know where this car came from. No paper trail? This, like,
No title? Don't you have to
Yeah.
transfer over the title? The title's
auction.
in that guy's name.
In an auction, you don't.
I don't know. Whenever I take my car to the mechanic, I give him everything: the pink slip, my info, the title,
Social
Sign it
security
over
card.
to him
Social
for the weekend.
Security, Yep, everything.
All of the money in my wallet
Everything.
before he does any work.
Yep.
It's just how it goes.
And then I'll give him the keys.
So this, all copies too.
Oh,
There's
every
no
single-
chance I'm getting into that car unless he gives it back.
Exactly.
So this guy was on Judge Judy, and I
Love
was,
her.
I was a little confused. Also, she's still doing it. Still has a
Oh,
show.
hell yeah. She changed her hair.
How old is Judge
Whoa.
Judy now?
Yeah. If you have to ask.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not too old to not be on TV, I guess.
Judge Judith. What's her last name?
No, her first name is Judge.
Yeah. I don't know what the
Judge
hell-
Judith.
Yeah.
I was watching Judge Judy the other day on
Why?
Pluto.
What year is this?
I liked it. It was fun.
I'm baffled by people that just like have TV still.
Prime time. Well, not prime time. Daytime television.
Fucking prime time Judge Judy, 8 p.m.
Daytime is my prime time.
Daytime TV is a wild fucking world, and it
It
still
is.
exists.
I
It's
love
something that didn't exist in my mind growing up because
No.
you're in school.
Yeah.
And as an adult, TV has just been kind of phased out for the most part.
Right.
So like,
watch a YouTube video.
yeah, primetime, now you got me doing it. Primetime daytime TV is just, honestly, neither of them. But it's not
Right.
something I ever think about. The fact that, like, up until a year ago, Ellen was still on
Oh wow.
daytime TV.
Yeah, that's
Whack.
wild.
Court TV is still a thing.
Yeah, you got the Wendy Williams, Dr. Phil.
Judge
Or
Judy's
wait, no,
81.
not anymore. I don't think.
Dr. Phil, he has a
She's
podcast.
81?
Holy shit.
Yo.
Listen, we start putting some term limits on these judges. Regardless, this guy was on Judge Judy because the company fucking sold his car. The mechanic sold his car
Still crazy.
at auction. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to read a little bit more about this story this morning, right? And so I open up the article, and I find this, a separate Judge Judy encounter, where his car was repossessed after he bought it.
Like a ghost?
Yeah, it was repossessed. He bought the car, had an exorcism, got back in. George Washington was still there.
Oh,
Crazy.
That's why he took it
existence.
to the mechanic.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
this
gonna
is
get these
spray it with
ghosts
holy
out of my car.
water.
He's taking a mechanic or a priest at that point. That's always my first concern is, okay, radiator's going bad. Do I take it to the mechanic or the priest?
Yeah, you got to change the coolant out with holy water.
Dude. Put in my windshield washer fluid.
Yeah.
None of these spirits blocking my view.
Sometimes people drink spirits while driving. That's not good.
Mm.
That must have been how he. That must have been how he had to get it repossessed.
Bro, I feel like that mechanic might have been drinking some spirits. Like, this must be for auction.
Hey, he must have, man.
This completely separate case on Judge Judy. This guy bought a car. He paid $750. The car was $950. So number one, $950 car, crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing to go to court about in the beginning.
Small claims.
No, it's not. $200
No.
small
Oh,
claims.
yeah.
This would have to be settled by arbitration if it was Disney.
Right.
Um,
Did the soul that was in the car before it got exercised
Yeah.
have a Disney Plus subscription?
we don't know yet.
Ugh.
Still in arbitration.
Investigating.
That's
now.
what we got to know.
Mm.
It is. No, because you're not allowed to die at Disney.
Oh, that's
So
right.
it
Nobody
couldn't be.
ever
Yeah,
dies.
it couldn't be.
Wait, isn't there a Pixar movie? Soul.
Yeah.
Bingo. Full circle there.
Once again, never seen.
Okay, yeah. Well,
What's it about?
it's a
It's about
Repossessions?
souls.
it's about a jazz guy and he plays the piano and I
The
think,
jazz guy?
John Baptiste
Armstrong? Oh.
is playing the character, I think. And
Does he not? He doesn't play him. It's not like an autobiographical Pixar movie.
no, it's not.
They're making one
Does
of those.
he die or?
He does die.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
He
dies, and
dies.
then his soul goes on. The path.
Spoilers!
Oh, well, that's like the first thing that happens. Yes, he dies. Sorry. That's kind of the why.
I know everybody listening was here without seeing Soul and fully planned to watch it.
Then he ends up where like souls are born, and he finds like the not worthy soul and gives him hope.
I think all souls are not worthy. That's why I stay away from Kia. Now, this guy's car was repossessed because it was a $950 car. He paid $750 up front in cash and said, I don't have the other $200 on me. I will come by the dealership and give you the $200. So a guy drives away with his car and his title, still owes $200 to the dealership. I'm assuming just a small pre-owned lot.
Yeah.
Guy calls him, says, hey, I want to come by and drop off your $200. Doesn't answer. Guy calls him the next day. Hey, I want to come and drop off your $200. He says, oh, I'm not there. Put it in the drop box. He says, well, it's cash.
Yeah,
I don't want to just drop it in the mailbox.
Sketchy.
Like, I'd rather hand it to you. Calls him again. Next day, no answer. So he ends up not paying this $200 over 3 days. And the person who sold him the car then repossesses the car.
The
gets
car
a tow
that he
truck.
was buying?
Yeah, the car that he had already paid $750 for.
Oh.
The guy, the dealer called and repossessed this car, had a tow truck come and take it. At some point, and the story doesn't clarify when this happened, at some point, after the man had paid the $750, after the dealer had then towed the car back to the shop, somehow the guy buying it got it back.
Oh.
I don't know if he took it illegally, or I guess legally, or had a conversation about it, or what, but he gets the car back.
Mm-hmm.
The dealer then, without the $200 still, repos the car again. Now they're
The
in
same
judge.
car.
Yeah, same car.
Repossessed.
Over $200, a $950 car, repossessed, repossessed.
Oh.
Yeah, he's towed it twice back to the dealership over $200. Now they're in Judge Judy, her courtroom. I wish I could remember the intro, but I'm not 8.
Judge Judith Scheinlin?
I don't think that's it.
I think it is.
That must be
Judge
close.
Judith repossesses the car again. Now it's on Judge Judy, and the claim is this man, the guy who sold him the car, has spent over $5,000 repossessing it twice.
Oh my god! I was
He
gonna
was
say.
just owed 200.
Yeah, and he's owed $200. Yeah,
I was gonna say towing cars is not cheap.
no.
Unless you're the tower, but yeah, I mean,
Well, if you need a tow, I got 10. Now they're in court. Judge Judy, from what I have read, is siding with the man who had his car taken twice because he had reached out on multiple occasions to pay $200 to fully own this car.
yeah, that seems reasonable
Yeah.
to me.
I can't believe this dude showed up to court to fight this.
Right.
I can't believe after missing several phone calls from this guy, because I can assume that he left voicemails like, hey,
Right.
just looking to pay you that money that I owe you, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even reach back out. He just went, I'm going to take the car.
It's mine now.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I can't imagine going to court over a $950 car.
Well, for some people,
Dude, listen. To find a car that runs under $1,000
yeah.
is insane to me.
Well, who knows if it was running? I mean, maybe it just
Fair.
you had to tow it to get it from place to place.
I get that. He was just helping him out.
Otherwise, if the guy who was selling the car maybe had a spare key or something, he could have just driven it back.
Yeah, what if that is the case? Because, I mean, you'd have to put it in neutral, right? To tow it back, unless you're going to drag it back.
Yeah.
Well, if it's
Well-
front wheel drive, you can just lift
Yeah.
up
I guess
Or
you know.
it's just like a bed tow truck where they
just
the
lifted
car
it?
onto it.
Yeah.
that too. Yep.
So that none of the wheels are on the
I
ground.
don't know. Have you seen the guy in Cleveland that he's the repo guy, and
The repo man's in Cleveland?
Yeah, you gotta check out these videos because he will, be a guy getting, gas at the gas station or something, and he comes in this truck. Within 15 seconds, your car is gone.
Just hooks it up and takes it?
It's like, and then like his back, the back like toe thing goes underneath where the front bumper is,
Mm-hmm.
and it just lifts up. So then the front wheels are up, and he just goes off. And there's many instances where the person is like just outside of their car. And
Yeah.
they're like basically watching it happen. Like, hey, give me back my car. And he just zooms off. Repo guy. It's amazing.
That'd be such a cool and stressful profession.
Oh yeah, and the greatest part about this guy is he never has a reaction. It is just dead faced the whole time while he's stealing this guy's car.
I think so. Not
It's
the
basically bounty
repossession
hunting.
yeah.
side. Not
Yeah.
the repossession side, but like if somebody parks in like a no parking zone, if you walk up on them towing your car, you can like pay them to get it off the tow.
Yeah.
I think that's like really weird.
I mean, that's just bribery. Yeah, you could do that for anything.
Well, no, they have like an actual.
Everything's negotiable.
Yeah.
That's fair. They have like an actual like process. Like you can pay $20 now to get it off the truck, or I can take it down to the.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
and
I'm
you can pay to
pretty
get it
sure
out.
that's just the guy wanting money. I don't think that actually clears your debt while it's getting repoed.
Well, I don't know about that. You mean like if you parked somewhere you're not supposed to
Yeah.
park?
And they're coming to take your car.
Right.
Because
Yeah, because
not where
if it's being
supposed to be.
repoed,
If it's
that's
being
maybe
repoed, then you
different.
still
Yeah.
owe money. But if it's like your car, you parked it in a place you're not supposed to park, and they're taking it.
Now, if I was the repo man
Uh-huh.
and I was sent out to repo a Kia Soul, and I catch it at the gas station,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what you said. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna link it up, but I'm gonna take my time once I've got it secured, and I'm gonna let that guy bargain with me
Oh.
to release it, and I'm gonna extort him for $350, and then I'm gonna release his car and follow him, and the next time he parks,
Oh, that's evil.
I'm gonna take it and get paid by the person that told me to repo it.
That's evil.
He owes money.
I would love to do a ride along.
He's
with a
the
repo
bad
man.
guy.
To
I'm the
somebody.
vigilante.
Not to you.
It's not cheap to repo cars. What if I value my work more than the guy paying me to repo?
If that was the case, this repo man that does it in 15 seconds
Yeah.
is making a lot of money per hour.
Turnover rate's crazy.
Crazy.
I feel like that's not a safe profession. I feel
Oh,
like people
I
could get
think you're
really
right.
angry.
You definitely got to be packing if you're a repo man.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. You
How
know.
often do you think, like, someone goes to jail for fighting the repo man?
Every day, guaranteed.
Well, and we don't gotta get into like jailing people for dumb reasons, but how are they gonna ever pay off money if they're in jail?
Yeah, you're not really getting. I mean, I guess they get the car back, right?
You got
If they repo your car, they're just gonna turn around and sell it.
right.
So I mean, they'll make their money back.
Well, on any car loan that you get,
Not in this economy.
This guy was definitely planning on selling this $950 car for fucking the
That's
$200 he was owed.
I don't understand how they're able to put the car as collateral for the loan.
Here's my issue with this story, real quick. $950 he was selling it for.
Yes.
That means he bought it at least $300 cheaper. Because typically, if you buy a
Right.
$7,000 car at a lot, they probably paid around $5 for it, $4 or $5, because they're going to make at least $3,000 in profit on the car.
Yeah, something
If
like
it's
that.
only $900, they must have got
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing dirt cheap.
Oh yeah,
$400,
yeah.
$500 max.
They probably got it from an auction.
So, yeah, right. And so you are already in the green in terms of making your money back with $750, I would assume.
Maybe.
And for $200, you're going to spend $5,000 in repos. This car isn't worth it on either party.
No, you're so right. That's the elephant in the room. This car has got to be the biggest piece of shit
Yeah.
ever. Like,
And I'm not going to be like, if I'm the guy who owes the $200 and he
Yeah.
won't take my $200, the first time it gets repoed, I'm not taking the car back. I'm going up there and going, all right, give me my money back. I just keep the fucking car there.
yeah, right. Like, come on.
Like,
Don't-
this really isn't worth my time. If you
No.
want it that bad, keep it.
Don't you have to like go through the government and like put paperwork in to have something repoed? Like show proof he hasn't paid this money. This is the
I'm
reason.
sure he's got some kind of paperwork saying that he owed the $200, or else they wouldn't be able to take it to court.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I paid you $750. I still owe you this.
Hang on, is this
Shoot, put interest on it. Now he owes you more.
is this small claims court? Because isn't that the cutoff is
Oh.
$200?
Judge Judy. I don't.
Does Judge Judy do small claims?
I thought Judge Judy was small claims.
I think
and
it
that's
might be
why
actually. Yeah.
They're in court for small claims for a $900 car and a $200 payment. None of this was worth the trip to court.
No, but at
The
least they're on
repos.
TV.
This dude probably spent half the money that is owed for the car to get his suit for court.
I wonder how many people who get on Judge Judy will have somebody like when they get on the street, like, "Hey, were you just on Judge Judy?" Like, "Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I'll buy you lunch or whatever." I don't know.
there's some people.
You got to get paid, right?
There's like a couple of people that are like friends that will just sue each other to
Yeah.
be on.
Oh,
Judge
really?
Judy.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
That's fun.
I know someone who used to, in college, just sue his roommate
Oh,
multiple times and get on multiple court TV shows.
Eh.
And they'd have like $50 lawsuits and take it to small claims.
that's a fun thing to
Yeah,
do.
just to something to do.
The weekend plans.
Yeah.
Judge Judy.
What you got going on this weekend? Court. Oh, shit, you're going to court? Nah, Judge Judy.
right. Oh yeah,
Get-
you better be there.
Catch me at noon, ABC.
Daytime, prime time. Daytime is prime time.
Logan Paul has never been on Judge Judy, so I don't know where you're getting this primetime thing
Oh.
for, but that ain't it, Chief.
No, he hasn't been, but he has been in court before. No, have people sued him?
Japan probably had something to say about him.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oof.
What was the I forget what the first story was.
The guy, he took his car to the mechanic. The mechanic sold it at an auction.
Oh yeah, I had something to say about that because if you're the mechanic, you fixed the car, right?
Did you?
Well, you can't sell it broken.
An auction you can.
oh,
Cars don't have to run at auction.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
My question is, why didn't he? Was this car not on his paperwork? Like
Well, that too.
when you drop
In
off
his
a car,
normal business practices, you would think.
you would think like the client dropped off the car, checked the boxes, this needs done. Client states that blah 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 is happening with the car.
Yeah.
Go to fix that.
Yeah, and now it's in your paperwork. You got,
But
start your day. Oh, here's all the cars we
Right.
fixed.
did he just walk out to the parking lot and go,
Nah.
I don't recognize that car. Let's sell that.
And that's your first reaction, isn't like, who left their car here?
Right.
It's, oh, I'm going to sell that. That must be mine.
Yeah, this might be like a wake up call for him. Like, oh, maybe I'm getting like amnesia, like Alzheimer's, something.
Maybe I shouldn't deal with cars or
Yeah.
customers for that matter.
I would love it though if he just fixed the whole thing,
And then
you
sold
know,
it.
and then sold it.
Fixed what the problem was and more.
Yeah.
Like made it super awesome and then
Like,
sold
wow,
the
somebody
car.
just dropped this car off for me. I'll fix it real quick. I'll make a quick buck.
Some dude showed up at his shop and he's like, you selling this? Like, actually, I just put a new radiator in it. I got to get it at least. Just pitches him an offer.
I would love to know like the exact communication that happened when he showed up to pick up his car.
Hey, where's my car?
What car?
I'm assuming that was part of it.
Here to pick up my car. Who are you?
Hey, all right, what's the model on that? Hey, we don't got one of those.
He's not even.
We
in the
had one of
system.
those. Were you here to buy it? It's sold.
Yeah, were you the buyer? Oh.
Oh, no, we sold that one 2 weeks ago. You what?
Well, that's a good point too. How much time was between him dropping off the car and picking up the car? Because if it's like a couple days,
You would.
that is really like he's mentally gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it seems like.
And if it was like a really long fix, like a 2-week,
It was
long
quoted
thing.
for a $1,200 job.
Yeah,
and
that
he,
could take like a week.
and
or
he
so,
paid
right?
$460 up front. So he not only did he get his
Oh.
car stolen, he's out $460.
Dang.
And then it was ultimately found on the freeway by Highway State Patrol.
So he definitely didn't fix it.
No.
If it was found abandoned on the highway, the car wasn't running.
Clearly, something was not running.
So let's shut down the shop. I think
I agree. It's not fixing things. It's stealing and selling.
in fact, didn't do the one thing a mechanic is supposed to do, and that is fix the car.
Took his money, but put it where?
Not into that car.
Didn't
Yeah.
buy the parts for it.
He probably doesn't remember. He probably doesn't even know. He doesn't even know how much he sold it for.
He
This
probably took that $460, right?
Oh yeah.
And got a little bit more out of the bank, and then went to go buy a car. Realized he was $200 short, and that got
would be the
repoed.
craziest.
It's the
That
arc.
would be wild.
It's all one multiverse of bad mechanics.
And the center of all is Judge Judy.
Judge Judy's the glue.
She is the glue that holds this universe together.
Only Judy can judge me.
That being said, Judge Judy, if you
Right.
want to come on the show, 216-859-8699. We have a bunch of legal questions all the time. So 216,
Oh, she could definitely
Yeah.
help with that.
Hell
she could
yeah.
arbitrate.
Yeah.
216-859-8699 is the number to text into the show. It works for all of our shows on WSRRradio.com. Of course, that's the homepage for all of our great content. You can get the Rebel Radio Show live on air every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. That turns into the Rebel Podcast every Wednesday at 10 a.m. all major podcasting platforms. But you can get all of our other great shows on WSRRradio.com as well. Shows like Off Air, The Pigeonhole, Beyond Bounds, a whole bunch of exclusive interviews with artists and Scientologists and more, as well as articles on WSRRradio.com. It links you to all of our social medias, including the Discord server where you can chat with us 24/7, 365, as well as participate with some of the shows and just memes and Spider-Man pictures and conspiracies and cryptids and a whole bunch of stuff in the Discord, plus discounts. Again, that's WSRRradio.com. We're saving the underground music scene 24/7, 365, and live. One more shout out to GenericClothes.com, Clearview Windows and Synergy Music Studio in Chicago. Don't forget to check out True Vault Escapades, 10 p.m. every weekday on WSRRradio.com. And
Also,
of course,
don't forget to vote.
don't forget to vote in the poll
right.
for the WSRR 24 Song of the Summer. That's up till September 1st. As I was saying, though, True Vault Escapades is the Fallout-based radio drama that airs at 10 p.m. every weekday night on WSRR. And if you haven't figured it out by now, that's WSRR Radio.
One more time.
WSRR Radio. I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Style. That's Jules on the board.
Bye.
Thank you again to our special guest, Eric, for filling in.
Woo! Happy to be here.
And until next time, peace.